That morning, the sun began to smile from the eastern horizon. Yellow Duck had woken up long before his friends.
He chirped cheerfully. "Wake up, everyone! Wake up! Today's the big day. We're going fishing with the real fishermen in the Tobelo Sea."
Polar Bear stretched his big body lazily.
Pelican flapped his wings, ready for action. And Tuba, the good-hearted squirrel, was already trotting to the kitchen, carrying a little basket. They all started gathering their fishing gear. Yellow Duck proudly held up his small, trusty fishing rod. Polar Bear carefully inspected a neatly rigged hook, making sure it was perfect. Pelican, ever the expert, was already catching some small fish for bait. Meanwhile, Tuba was busy organizing food supplies, enough for 2 whole days at sea. If you get hungry out there in the middle of the ocean, it could be a real disaster, Tuba said
with a wise little smile.
Once everything was packed and ready, they loaded their gear into a sturdy old green Jeep. The Jeep rumbled slowly down the hill, passed through a small, quiet forest, and then it what?
Tobelo Beach, in beautiful North Maluku, stretched out before them. A fresh sea breeze greeted them instantly.
Pelican took a deep breath and chirped, "Wow, I can already smell the fresh fish from the village."
When they arrived,
The fishermen welcomed them with big, warm smiles.
on the shore, a large fishing boat was waiting, with a crew of about 20 people.
The boat looked strong and reliable, with high white sails reaching for the sky.
All the fishermen were busy checking their nets and making sure their gear was in top shape. "Welcome, Yellow Duck and friends,"
A kind old fisherman called out.
they eagerly climbed
Aboard the boat.
Once on deck, the fisherman explained, "Today, we're hunting for merlin fish." They're huge fish with sharp snouts and high, spiky fins. Yellow Duck's beak dropped open. "Wow, that fish must be extraordinary," he whispered in awe.
But then he looked down at his tiny fishing rod.
Polar Bear couldn't help but chuckle. "Hey, if you catch a merlin with that little rod, it'll be a miracle." The ship's engine roared to life, and they began to sail away from the dock. The sound of waves crashing against the hull broke the morning silence as seagulls soared across the vast blue sky. Tuba!
The squirrel, always thinking of others,
Started preparing warm ginger drinks for everyone.
As night began to approach,
They were all set to begin their 2-day fishing adventure in the middle of the deep Tobelo Sea.
Yellow Duck and his friends huddled together and made a promise.
Whatever happens out here, we will always work together.
Before they cast their first line, Yellow Duck and his friends said a little prayer together. "I hope we can all do a great job today," Yellow Duck said, his eyes sparkling with excitement.
The fishermen nodded in agreement, their faces calm and focused.
A short while later, the ship slowed to a stop, and the captain turned off the engine. "This is the spot," he announced. "This is where the merlin fish usually like to hang out." The fishermen cast their heavy-duty hooks, baited with large fish. A strong sea breeze blew, making the waves ripple all around them. Yellow Duck held his small fishing rod tightly, his heart thumping. Polar Bear stood right beside him, ready to help if needed. Suddenly, one of the fishermen's lines jerked violently. "Big fish! Pull! Pull!" a crew member shouted. The fisherman pulled back with all his might, but the rod bent like a bow. "Ugh! It's so heavy! I can't hold it," he grunted.
With a roar, the boat's powerful towing engine kicked in to help.
Everyone held their breath. Then
The fish leaped high out of the water.
Its sharp fins sliced through the air, and its long, pointed snout glistened in the sunlight.
There it is! The Merlin fish.
Pelican screamed, flapping his wings in excitement.
With a massive, coordinated effort, the incredible Merlin fish was finally pulled onto the boat's deck. Everyone stared in amazement. It was huge, long, and incredibly heavy. They put it on the scale. 100 kilograms. Polar Bear tried to give it a big hug, but his arms couldn't even wrap around it. Wow! It's so big, he exclaimed, completely stunned.
Not long after, another fisherman's hook started moving.
Another Merlin fish appeared, this one a bit smaller, but still, its size was unbelievable. While everyone was celebrating, Yellow Duck heard a faint, soft voice carried on the wind. Help! Help me!
Ome! Ere!
He looked over the side and saw a giant turtle tangled in one of the fisherman's spare nets. Without a second thought, Yellow Duck, Polar Bear, Pelican, and Tuba the squirrel rushed to help. They worked together, carefully untying the ropes and loosening the net. Finally, the turtle was free. It looked at them with old wise eyes and said in a deep, grateful voice, "Thank you, my friends. Because of you, I can return to the sea." And the giant turtle dived slowly beneath the waves, leaving beautiful ripples on the water's surface. The day grew even more exciting.
The fishermen had already caught 2 massive Merlin fish.
And as for Yellow Duck and his friends, they managed to catch a respectable 20-kilogram fish of their own. It doesn't matter how big our fish is, as long as we all share in this amazing adventure together, said Tuba the squirrel wisely. Polar Bear laughed, puffing out his chest. Well, if it was a big one, I would have pulled it in. As night began to fall, the weather turned. A huge storm rolled in, out of nowhere.
The waves grew into mountains, and a cold, hard rain pelted the sails. Everyone held on for dear life.
Yellow Duck was trembling, and Pelican tucked his wings in as tightly as he could.
The fisherman captain's voice boomed over the wind. Hold on tight. We have to ride this out all night. The entire night was tense and scary. But as morning broke, the sky was clear again. The storm had passed. They were all safe. Exhausted but relieved, the fishermen cast their lines one more time. This time, they caught several medium-sized fish, each around 20 kilograms. Yellow Duck smiled, feeling the warm sun on his face. Thank goodness the storm is over. Now we can go home happy. As evening arrived, the fishing boat made its way back to the village in Tobelo. When they reached the shore, everyone hugged each other, filled with gratitude and relief. Thank you so much for giving us such an amazing, unforgettable experience, said Yellow Duck to the fishermen. We will always remember this adventure, added Pelican. They all returned home, tired but happy, carrying with them precious stories of friendship, courage, and the wild, beautiful spirit of the Tobelo Sea. Thank you so much for joining Yellow Duck and his friends on this incredible journey. If you enjoyed their adventure, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And please subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.